Gotta love that sound. Hello, welcome back to Rolling the Rips. It occurred to me a couple other days that I should have probably named this something along the lines of Natural Rift or something. That would have probably more catchy. Anyway, so we leave off where we leave off. We pick up where we last left off. Yeah, pick up where we last left off. Except it's a day later. The party is in a small town called Yaikio, which is a bit south of the North Indiana Lee line, in between two large nexus points, about 10 miles south of the Lee line. It's a small town, not many people there, more spread across the grassland with about 4 main roads in it. It's got a nice little town center with a grocery store, a bit of a mountain climbing equipment. Not sure why it has mountain climbing equipment, but because there are no mountains around here, at least for the next 20 miles.
There might be caves.
That's a fair point. But certainly not any mountains. So you're coming in about noon the next day. You had to backtrack a little bit, considering the entire thickness of what used to be the forest that you just came through. You had to ride across the river to get here. Town is fairly off the track. What do you do?
Is there any kind of like welcoming party, that committee that greets us? You know, like, this is our town, don't start anything.
Nope. Just there's a big board in the town center that says, "Don't shoot your weapons at people."
All right.
Is there any kind of like adventuring supply depot other than the grocery store?
Doesn't look like it.
That's all
Looks
it
like
says. Don't shoot your weapons at people.
yeah.
All right.
Well, do we need anything while we're here? I mean, Papa Poe handles all of our food. Do we need a chart? We've got the nuclear, recharger for everything. So, I guess we could. Is there any kind of tavern or inn where we could get some information?
Yeah, there's a tavern on the north side of town. It's a little small dinky place. There's another mountaineer parked in front of it, and 2 Wastelander motorcycles.
All right. Well, we can go there and see if we can get some information on what the road or the path ahead of us is like.
All right. So you step in, right into the middle of a bar fight. As you watch, the bar fight ends with as quickly as it started. Single punch to the face knocks down the juicer.
Ah, somebody took down a juicer, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What would be doing that?
It'd be a crazy. Ironic, right?
Yeah. Okay. Avoid the remains of the bar fight. Walk around them and head towards the bar proper.
It looks like most of the place was spared of destruction between the fight between the juicer and the crazy, which is quite rare when you considering they're both superhumans and drugged with mind and chemical enhancements.
I'm still impressed that the crazy managed to drop the juicer.
It is an impressive feat.
It was probably a cheap shot.
So one of the barmaids comes out, and starts sweeping up the part of a table that was cut off to smack the crazy over the head.
Smack the crazy over the head or juicer over the head?
Mm-hmm. Smack the crazy. Crazy's got a big dent on his head, and not the ones that are mechanical.
Okay.
The bartender rises from behind his bar. Says, "I'm getting too old for this shit."
I can imagine.
Ironically, he looks a little bit younger than Papa Poe. Then again, that's not saying much, considering that Papa Poe is almost 70.
Does anybody react in negative fashion to Land's appearance?
Let's find out.
Just so you know, I do have a horror factor of 12.
That's what I'm rolling right now. Crazy says, "Oh shit, what the hell is that?"
Oh, he's harmless. Don't worry about him.
Well, she'll help you, right? I'll be in the bathroom. I thought we'll change pants again. Bartender says, another lizard man.
Have these come through often?
Yeah, there's a bunch of hunters in a town to the east.
So, what do you know that's going on the road from here to New Laszlo?
You're headed up to New Laszlo, right?
Yeah, that's the we're passing through, but it's in our direction.
You came a little bit off the beaten path, but I appreciate the business. There's a couple lead lines up there. It's a whole big network that forms more or less a circle.
Hey,
got
do you know of
magic
any
You got
trouble?
it. Not that I know of, other
Well,
than
that's
these
good.
two over here. I'm pretty sure you just fixed it, considering the crazy shit his pants.
Black sugars.
No, there's a little town up ahead called Iosia. It's about 20 miles east.
Not enough.
20,
Okay.
50 miles east. They're having a bit of trouble with mercenaries
Oh,
over
no.
there.
Okay.
Well, if they're having trouble with mercenaries, did somebody hire them, or the mercenaries now become bandits?
Well, the mercenaries are more or less running the town.
Ah,
It's a small little village community. Probably about 250 people. I don't know. They got about 30 bandits there that are running the shit.
Wait, bandits are running it?
Bandits,
mercenaries turn
mercenaries.
bandits. Yeah,
Are the townspeople okay with this?
we'd have to go there to find out.
I'm not willing to walk 50 miles, so yeah, that's your job.
Oh,
Well, like I said, they got some great hunters over there, so they're like you, but smaller. You find to land.
Wait, Land's a griot?
no, Lands of Lanotor.
I thought he was pointing to him saying, "Oh, he's a griot like him," and I'm like, "Wait, what? Okay."
Oh yeah, they do have the song. Yeah.
All right. Well, it looks like we're just I guess some people wanted to crash in an actual bed. Do you know of anybody that's renting rooms?
Got a couple rooms upstairs. Careful if you're heavy. It's not made of reinforced wood, just regular.
Well, how much are those?
15 credits per night.
All right, we'll take what you got available.
All right then. A couple drinks too. Don't get much food here. I'm out right now, so
Oh, is there any wildlife out that can be hunted and brought in for food?
I'm in the middle of the damn forest. If you want to go hunt a deer, by all means. There's a butcher down the road.
Oh, I thought we were in a cleared area.
Now the
Oh,
plains turn to forest at the end of the
It goes plains to forest, plains to forest. Place is
Huh.
fairly variable. It's forest to the east, forest to the west, plains to the north, plains to the south. We're a bit strip of about 10 miles long.
Actually, hunting doesn't sound like a bad idea.
If you're hunting, let us know if there's any monsters around too. 'Cause, the cyber knight we do have is just the one guy, and he's just got 3 guns to give out. So any heads up we can get is appreciated.
You going hunting, Dan?
I'm thinking about it. Probably wouldn't hurt.
Well, you gonna like hunt some deer down and sell it to the townspeople?
I'd probably just give it to them.
Man, how do people live when they're giving stuff away all the time?
Well, sometimes generosity gets generosity back. Like information and such.
Oh, I forgot to say, y'all are mercenaries, right?
Oh, we're just passing through.
Yeah,
The
work for
adventure
hire.
group, we got an alchemist in town. He's good on making a bit of magic stuff. Works right down near the butcher shop.
Yeah, I would say we're for hire, aren't we?
So if you
Depends on the pay.
if you need some magic gear, then well, you know where to go.
Surprised the Cyber Knights only got 3 guns to hand out if you've got somebody that can make magic.
He works on potions most of the time.
Potions.
I mean, by all means, you can try to commission him a magic weapon, but from what I hear, it takes a good long while.
All magic has its price.
That's true. You got a blacksmith that helps sharpen some of the stuff too. So if you need any traditional weapons, gear, plan to chop down some wood on the edge. Honest credits for honest work, you know.
It makes me wonder why people don't just take vibro swords and go lumbering.
That's what
That's
I was.
I never thought about it that way. I mean,
Or
fiber swords are quite expensive. I'm not sure that many people here could pay 8,000 credits for what equates to an axe.
It's a multi-purpose tool. I'm just saying it would make short work of trees.
well, actually, I do sell pre-cut firewood.
Oh, honest pay for honest work.
I have quite a bit.
I get my firewood from the grocery store downtown. It doubles over as a pawn store for, less expensive stuff. It's not like they're going to. It's not like they have enough money for selling weapons there, treasure, etc. Small cheap town, mostly lumber. You get the idea. We aren't really adventure centric, although most of them come right through here, get drunk, get a night, get some magic, and then go on their way. I feel like you might be the same way. I hope you're not.
Well, unless there's a pressing need for our, services, we need to be out there helping people who need the help.
Exactly. And I was mostly saying not to get drunk in here because I had to clean. I've already lost 2 tables this week. Those things cost me 200 credits each.
The tables cost you that much? Why?
Like I said, they're homemade.
Are they wood, just regular wood, or are they mega damage wood?
Just regular wood, not heavy wood.
Hey,
Yeah.
you can't shirk for good craftsmanship, right?
That's true.
Well, I'm sure if you needed it, we could bring you in some like ebony uh, ebony wood boards for like building. Maybe some other wood types, some walnut or such.
Dan, I never knew a monster like you was a happy homemaker.
Oh, I have lots of surprises.
So, Lan,
After hearing my name, I'm gonna look at you.
do you want to go take down some griots who think they're hunters
Now, are you saying this in common or a language I know?
in Dragonese Elf?
There's hunters around here? Really?
Griots. Not Lanators, but griots.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah, Lan, we could go hunt some griots.
wouldn't be much of a hunt, I think, but
Well, there's like
yeah,
30 of them.
numbers ain't challenging.
Oh, they can be. You get shot 30 times, it can leave a mark.
I'll tell you what, you can have 20 and we'll handle the rest. How's that?
If that's what we want to do, yeah, I wouldn't mind.
So, switching back to American. So, bartender, where's this village that's being accosted by these mercenary bandits?
Well, it's about 40. It's right along the Lee line. You follow the Ling line, and it'll be about 3 miles south when you reach the lake. You can't miss it. There's a big castle on the water.
Oh, they got a castle too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, it's not a big castle. It's, it's where they stay. So you follow the Lee line to the north, and hopefully you don't get stuck in the trees.
I don't think we got to worry about getting stuck.
Well, with a big mountaineer out there, you might.
Oh, we'll probably leave that here while we go.
Fair point. Anyway,
Because we'll leave that with Papa Poe and the others, and
Leave what?
the Mountaineer and that stuff with Papa Poe and the others.
Are
Because I mean, we
going on-
don't want to get our Mountaineer shot out from under us.
Oh, so we're going on foot?
Oh, I was thinking we could fly. We got multiple people who can fly.
Oh, that's
It would-
true.
Go over the trees. Be fastest way to cross 40 miles.
Yeah.
Raven states that she'll stay with the mountaineer while exploring.
So did Maverick take off on us? Did he just not join us when we left, or?
Yeah, Maverick kind of disappeared, along with the last dude that came here earlier today. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know why they left. I tried to make them feel at home, but I guess they just didn't. Oh, I forgot to roll the MDC for these guys. Alright then.
Some people, have their issues. Family, whatnot.
I'm pretty sure Maverick's shoulder was his main thing.
Yeah, that's probably
Yeah.
true. See.
So he had, a shoulder replacement surgery?
Yeah,
Something like
I think
that.
so.
Oh, it took my mom 6 weeks to recover from that.
That's what he was saying, about 6 weeks.
I got his DMs, so if he ever wants back in.
Yeah. I mean, that's perfectly understandable when you got something like that. That's really painful. It took me about 2.5, almost 3 weeks to recover from just my gallbladder surgery.
Anyway, There we go. Now I have the NBC for these dudes.
So it'll just be the 3 of us then
Hmm.
against 30. That's 10 each. We can do it.
Yeah, that'll be easy.
Maybe.
Between Raven, Jay, Crystallis, and Papa Poe, they're all gonna stay with the Mountaineer here at this little tavern. Papa Poe is gonna give free cooking lessons.
Well, not to throw out against most of the party, but there's only 2 real big damage dealers in the group.
No, there's 3 of us.
Oh no, there could be 4 or 5 soon.
Yeah.
You know, assuming that Goblin's internet works and
And depending on what Jen makes. Yeah.
we could all be all anyway.
Overwhelmed.
We could be going full-blown Monty Hall.
Oh, by the way, to the audience, we picked up 2 new players and lost one. So we lost Maverick, the one gunslinger that was with us for that one session. Had to go before because of shoulder pain. I got another dude yesterday who left the same day. And now we got Jen and Befuddled
Goblin.
Goblin Pilot. So Befuddled Goblin Pilot, not to be confused with me as the pilot.
Oh, he's just going to be Goblin from now on, so.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll be going through their character creation throughout the week. Jen's listening in right now. Say hi if you want.
She's muted at the moment.
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome to YouTube. Anyway, you're live.
Yeah. She sounds like a friend of mine named Victoria who sounds just like her.
A lot of ladies that sound the same over Discord peers.
Well, yeah, I mean, any kind of voice transmission is not going to be the same as what it's like to hear it, so.
It's true.
That's true, but her voice is pretty distinctive and it sounds, similar tones and cadence.
All right, so we know that Dan flies it like Mach.
The bartender says, "Oh, by the way, I should have mentioned that they're not the group full of Rhea hunters. They're just part of the mercenary group.
Oh, well,
So
what
there's
else is
not
there?
30 of them. I don't know how many there are, but it's less than 30.
Wow.
So, yeah, as a gully dwarf would say, more than 2.
Say again?
I said, as a gully dwarf would say, more than 2.
Probably. Probably more
Well,
than
we
2.
can definitely scout it out and see what we're up against before we engage. It's not like this, we're bad at doing Mission Impossible.
Right, so roll me a DB lower real quick.
All right.
If anyone's got it.
I think I do. Hold on a sec.
Did you say DB or Demon and Monster?
DB. Or Demon and Monster at a minus 15.
I didn't make it either way, so.
Right,
Mhm.
Dan, you want to try your hand?
Looking to see what my NM is. Okay, mine's 15.
Yep, minus 15. They're not really considered monsters.
See, Jen needs to make a rogue scholar so we have
Yep.
somebody who actually knows stuff.
You don't recognize the voice either. You don't recognize the species either, other than the
Nope.
name. You know they hunt shit. That's all you know.
And that they're lizards smaller than land. That's what we know. Oh, but
Yep.
look at that. Land made it.
The land
Bravo.
native. Oh, I see. Land actually knows what they're talking about. And the Griots are kind of well known. They're known to have bad attitudes. They're big. They're slightly bigger or larger than the smaller lizardmen and look more or less like dinosaur men. Kind of like a mini Grackletooth.
Hmm.
They might have a reputation, but my entire race scares people for a living.
For one thing, they're known is they're quite rare. Yeah, they're quite rare, and they love military confrontations. Ah,
So they're like the Gorn, just with better costumes.
more or less, better looking as well.
Well, we can't really make up any plans or anything until we get up there and see what they've got. Because we know there's about 30 bandits, or so that guy says. There could be more, there could be less. There's supposedly a castle. So, how fast can you go, Lan?
I run at 43 miles per hour.
Okay, I fly at
46.
70 or 80, actually 80 now. But Dan flies at like Mach 1, so
That's only whenever I use my talent. Otherwise, it's a lot slower. And
like
that's
how
how
slow?
I'll tell you here in just a moment. It should be on my character sheet, but down 66 miles per hour.
Well, that means we can all cruise along with Lan as Lan runs. I mean, it's still going to be faster than taking the Mountaineer or anything through the woods.
Well, I could put my arms underneath his arms and just carry him for that matter.
Plus, it's
You'd
a
have
lead
to.
line, so it'll be a lot easier to ride on.
And that way,
Oh yeah, double strength, double speed. So I'd actually fly at 160.
double strength, double speed.
Ley lines, magic. Magic is strengthened in the presence of ley lines.
It doubles magic. It doesn't double supernatural attributes.
I don't use a supernatural attribute to fly. I use magic.
You use a spell. Which spell do you use?
I use a tattoo.
Oh, tattoo magic.
Maximan.
I was really tempted to name him Pad. So, all right, it looks like the three of us are going to head towards this castle to the northeast where these griots and others are making life difficult for the poor townsfolk of that village.
So y'all go north. It's a bit of a walk to the Lee line, almost 10 miles before you get onto the Lee line. Lee line is quite large itself and fairly powerful. You know from the map that you received in the beginning when y'all met that this is in fact a mapped Lee line and has several that intersect, including one that takes all the way to the Freelands and then to Tolkien, and then one that goes straight into the Magic Zone.
Well, we don't want to go that way.
In fact, some of the Magic Zone lines actually, the Magic Zone line that this one hits intersects another on a nexus that intersects with just about all of them.
So that's a big old nexus point then.
Not quite a big nexus point, but it lead any magic user who wants to get through the magic zone fast can always ley line phase throughout the entire place.
Okay, so I see a Yosia on the map. Oh, that big blue, that's a big ley line. Okay. I see what you mean.
So we're going to Lysaya.
It's Yosia.
Eosia?
Eosia.
Okay. Well, yeah.
All right, so it looks like we're going to be flying at, I think Dan said he can go 66, or we can, if Land doesn't want to be carried, then we will cruise at his running speed, because I think he can run for like ever with supernatural endurance.
Yeah, he can run until he has to sleep.
Run till he gets hungry, and then he can run some more. Then he has to eat.
Well, I think we would want to break off the ley line before we got too close, because they're going to expect things to be coming in on the ley line if they're even remotely smart. So they'd probably have, watchers and guards if they're prepared for any kind of conflict.
Just 2 to 3 days is all I ask.
2-3 days to get there. All right then.
Nah, people talking.
I know. I'm just making fun of it. So you'll ride across along the ley line. Roll me perception. All right, Dan. Not bad. All right. Dan and Cobalt, when y'all come around the Nexus, y'all feel something weird.
Okay.
And then y'all realize you're not moving.
We're not moving.
Yes, you're flying forward, but you're stuck.
Is Lan also stuck on the ground?
Do I actually sense magic?
All around you. You're on a ley line, Nexus. It's everywhere, man.
Practitioners or powers in use?
Other than the ones that are with you. No.
So we're pretty much pushing up against an invisible wall, or just stuck
You
in
feel like
midair?
you're not getting any friction.
Can we go backwards?
You can try.
Okay. Well, I'll back up a little bit.
Yeah, I would try. That's why I was
All right.
asking if we can.
You do try, and nothing happens. Y'all are stuck in midair. And then y'all see why.
Why?
Down from the north side of the rip rumbles dark cloud. Lightning strikes appear everywhere.
Okay.
So we
Roll
got
me
a
a
ley
lore-
line storm.
Roll me a lore magic. Was Dan the only one with lore magic?
I have fairies and creatures of magic, but not magic itself.
Oh, okay. Well, Dan, you immediately recognize this as an ley line storm, and this is one of the side effects of it. So rare side effect of it, but a
Question:
known one.
How far off is the ley line storm?
It's about a half a mile.
And what happens if I deactivate my flight? Do I fall?
Okay. Now my next question is: did this ley line storm suddenly appear, or has it been moving along this ley line?
It appeared just a few minutes before you arrived.
Okay, we would have sensed it before we got here then.
Um, you got me there. All right. Right, so you avoid the lead line nexus entirely. But that takes you a good another little while to get around town. Wow, that's a long way. Oh, I remember how to do it. You avoid the place entirely, but it takes you another 16 miles, which in the grand scheme of things, considering that you're flying, isn't that long.
It's like 15 minutes.
Yeah. Be
So luckily, it appears that the lead line storm stays concentrated around the lead line nexus. Although you do slow down when you cross the lead line. Roll me another perception.
I see nothing.
You realize a pattern on where the clearing of the lead line nexus was. There was trees all around. In the distance, a couple miles off, you can see a fair clearing. Doesn't look like there's much there, but it's a meadow. Except there seem to be two dots there. Maybe people. One in the sky. All three are coming towards you. What do you
Like
do?
at speed? Are they like zooming along at 400 miles an hour or?
No, not 400 miles per hour. They're just heading towards you. One of them is quite fast. From what you can
Can
tell, it might be going around 100 miles per hour.
are they magical or psionic?
Neither. But though you do sense a small psionic presence, it's more or less muted by the presence of the Lee line. The
Okay,
downside to
so
being on a Lee line that magic senses are more or less
overwhelmed.
suppressed. Yeah,
Yeah.
overwhelmed is a better word.
Yeah.
Overwhelmed and more or less suppressed, yeah.
All right, so we've got one thing flying or all three flying?
One thing flying and two on the ground.
Any kind of weapons fire exchange between the three or?
Nope, they appear to be together.
Except for the flying one that's going 100 miles an hour.
Yes. Well, they appear to be working with them. From what you can tell, they're not shooting at each other. Although, could just be a regular mercenary group traveling. Could be the mercenary group you're looking for.
Could be.
Good spot, flying men. Or flying man and ground man. Poor Cobalt. Taking turns getting fives on their perception.
Yeah, I know, right?
Alright. I'm gonna use my psionic ability Sixth Sense.
It goes off automatically when you sense something. It's not a.
Yeah. You can't invoke it. It's something that just happens. It's a
Which is
reaction.
good. Which is good for some people because most people forget to remember they have
The
it.
way it read was I activated and it's there till the end of danger.
Well,
No,
that's automatic.
it's automatic and it only lasts for one melee.
I mean, you know where things are until it's the end of danger or until it goes away. But
Yeah, but The bonuses only last for melee.
Also, it's within range. Not within range. So,
Yeah, they have to be within 90 feet for again.
fun.
All right, so
Yeah,
these
fun.
these flying and ground figures, are they ahead of us, or are they off to the side, or are they behind us?
A bit to the southeast. Would be where, in the general direction of where Eosia is. Except a lot closer.
All right, well, I would suggest we continue along until they, make it a reason for us to stop.
Yeah.
So you
I'll fall
continue
back.
and are eventually intercepted by them.
All right, so what do we see now that they're close enough?
You meet up with them, and two of them are on motorcycles, and one is on a speedster hover cycle. A Northern Gun speedster hover cycle. That was the flying one. You could tell now when that your sixth sense goes off. Add bonuses. The group of three consists of the dog boy on the hover cycle and two human mercenaries, both in Bushman armor, carrying NG super lasers, aka the laser grenade launcher pistol.
So are they drawing on us, or?
Yes, they are.
Really? You just accost everybody who travels on this ley line?
They can't really hear you over their engines.
Could always give them the universal greeting.
Do we have a grenade launcher?
I don't believe you took one with you.
Well, if they've got guns, I'm going to ready my C-27 plasma rifle.
You hear the dog boy yell, "Get him!" when they start firing. And so the music changes to Red Line. Roll initiative.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm going last.
Wow. Damn, that was a good roll. All 10.
Should I add that +6 from my sixth sense?
Absolutely.
Okay, then it's a 34.
Jesus Christ.
Well, he did get a nat 20, so.
Yeah.
That's true, but still. Jesus. I'm forgetting to add that this whole time. Which basically guarantees you that you're going first every single time.
And I cannot be surprise attacked.
Alright, I'm assuming that you're in your monster form. Dan?
I have to be flying.
Alright, thought so. So you see a big difference here, don't you? It's 34,852. Top of the round.
So you
Alright,
said
Ryan,
there was a
you're
dog
running
boy?
dog boy and two mercenaries. The mercenaries on are motorcycles, Wastelander motorcycles, and the dog boy's in the air on a speedster hover cycle.
Well, the dog boy would have a actual bond like a side stalker with me, so I'm less worried about him and than the other two mercenaries.
Good, because compared to them, they also pose the greatest threat. They have super lasers, while he's only armed with an NG-33
So I'm
and
gonna
no armor.
rush. Are they close enough I can reach them to attack?
They're behind you with the speedster close enough to engage Dan and Cobalt.
Alright.
So you can probably stop and knock them off.
I would like to actually knock one off, yeah. Or both if I could get away with it.
All right. You stop in your tracks, and how do you plan to knock them off?
Body block. Tackle.
Clotheslines.
Actually, let's basically, yeah, clotheslining them only. Body block, tackle, either of those would work, so.
All right. Roll your body block. Oh, and I should have said roll your strike too. All right. Not only do you knock him down, you knock him off. You knock him to the ground under him, and pin him under you. He's wearing Bushman armor, so he survives. But you can hear. "Ah!" A grenade sails right into your back, Lan.
My auto dodge?
Yes, try to auto dodge. Unless, of course, you auto dodge. You have to auto dodge it. Dodge right out of the way. Sails over your back and into the ground, making a small crater. Let me frantically write up the stats for these dudes real quick. Forgot to convert them over to text document.
Sorry about ruining that grenade.
No worries. I was honestly expecting something along those lines.
See, if he was being if he was being mean, he would have shot the ground next to you and hit you with AOE.
Yep. I just expected that not to. I just expected that to actually hit.
Right now I have a plus 13 to my auto dodge since it's the first turn. And Sixth Sense adds plus 2 more.
Not to auto dodge.
You're
Not
not.
Auto dodge only gets auto dodge bonuses.
Auto dodge and your physical prowess.
I feel like we've been over this already.
Yep.
It doesn't get any other skill bonuses to dodge. It doesn't get hand-to-hand bonuses to dodge or anything
Then
like
it'd
that.
just be the plus 11.
Is that including your PP bonuses?
Oh.
Lan? Alteth?
What is your physical prowess?
It's 22.
Yeah.
That's
Is that
plus
included?
4.
Is it including your physical prowess bonuses?
I believe so.
All right. Well, in that case, those only go in melee combat. So you still dodged, just less gracefully. I'll still give you the dodge this time. So make sure you note of that. That physical prowess bonuses are only on melee to dodge.
Okay.
Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, the explosion misses you. The guy's on the ground, knocked out of breath, and Dan, it's your turn.
Okay, the two in the air in front of us,
There's only one in the air. The dog boy's on a hover cycle, I think.
Yep, dog boy's
Okay.
on the hover cycle.
Let's see. I cast a spell.
All right, what spell you cast?
Compulsion on the dog boy.
Compulsion. What level spell is that?
6.
That's 2 actions. All right. I don't know that spell by heart, so describe
All
it.
right. Implants a sudden desire in the character's mind. Focus of the irresistible impulse should be something reasonable and attainable, and the victim will be obsessed with attaining it, whatever it is, for the full duration of the incantation, or until it's attained.
All right. First of all, how long does it last?
24 hours.
Ouch. And what do you make him want to do?
I pretty much point towards Chi-Town, the direction of Chi-Town, and say, there's a thick, juicy steak waiting for you there in Chi-Town. You have to go get it.
Ugh.
Dog boy might save with that. They get good bonuses.
That's true. Let me go look at the dog boy real quick. All over the place tonight. Dragon-sized stalkers, dog boys. Bonuses. They usually get save versus psionics and not magic. This is general save versus magic, right?
Yeah. So he succeeded.
Yeah, it's
Right,
only a 12.
Yeah, it's only 12. So he succeeded.
Oh, okay.
See, there, I didn't really say anything. I just cast it, and the sudden impulse was there in his head and then fluttered away.
Plus 2 to save versus all find control. All right.
Yeah. So that's me. Move on to them, I guess.
It's the merc's turn. Ah! The dog boy yells before shooting you with his small laser pointer.
Okay.
He's got a laser pointer.
It's what the NG 33 basically is, a laser pointer. I have a macro for that. If you don't try to dodge the laser pointer, you take 3 damage.
Okay.
The other 2 mercs, the one that Land knocked down, is currently struggling to get out from under Land and managed to get back on his feet. The other merc screeches to a halt and shoots another grenade. Time shooting it upward at Cobalt.
Okay.
Why am I typing this out? That's a 1d20 or 1d100. He misses just by barely.
Man, you guys are really not good at this. I'm not going to dodge.
Right, okay. It explodes right out of range of your head.
I mean, has Cobalt ever dodged? Dodging is not his style.
That's a fair point. The Super Saiyan Sword Man up there. Basically.
All right. Well, it's my turn, I think.
Yep.
So the guy who just shot a grenade at my head, I'm going to shoot him with my plasma rifle.
Well, I guess you had enough time to bring it up before the combat began. So.
Well, I said you said they were drawing, I said I was readying mine. So.
Yep.
He did.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Totally. All right, roll your strike.
I miss.
Don't you hit the
God.
ground right below you, 2 feet away from land.
I nat won that. Good thing I wasn't trying to shoot in the melee.
Right, land, it's your turn.
Okay.
You have 7 actions left, not 1. 7.
You say that like it disappoints you.
Not really, it's actually really entertaining.
So,
Most people have like 5 and 6. And you have 8. And can get more.
first, I'm gonna strike at the one that's on the ground.
Right?
Since he's on the ground, is there any bonuses?
I mean, he actually wiggled it out and he's back on his feet now. But that was his action. So he lost the action. So there's no strike bonuses. Because you're now in melee.
Alright, so my first strike, 22.
Woo-wee! Tries to parry, fails, and takes 7 damage.
And that's with rolling 2 ones.
Ouch. Ah! My armor! I have to polish this thing every other day.
Every other day.
You won't have to polish it after this ever again.
You think it's kind of weird how he has to polish Bushman of all things. Of all the armors, that's probably the least polishable. Maybe Huntsman and Urban Warrior, but
Now I have this vision of a city rat in my head polishing his Plastic Man.
that's probably the most, besides the, more expensive night-based ones, it's probably the easiest to polish. It's got the most plastics, so,
It's all shiny, bulbous.
Yep. Shiny and filled with bullet holes. Considering of what it's made of.
Hey, it's better than having no MDC armor.
That's a true. That's a true. That's a true. Anyway, Lan, you hit him. That was your action. We're on to Dan.
I'm pretty much dart forward and claw the dog boy.
You're gonna what the dog boy?
Claw.
Call the dog boy. Okay. Woo-wee! That's double
Nat
damage.
20.
In fact, roll me a 1d100. All right, now roll your damage.
Double that.
Wow. Damn.
8d6. That's pretty obscene.
Yeah, claw him with. Nightbane is powerful, man.
Yeah, it is.
Well, 66 for my PS and my claws add 2d6.
Right. The strike you get off cuts right through his leg armor. Oh,
And the leg.
so not only do you destroy the leg armor with that Rake Claw, but you also deal the double damage to the main body of the dog boy. Right? Which cuts the dog boy in half. From leg to shoulder. Congratulations, Dan, you're a murderer.
That was self-defense.
Yeah.
That's
you
true.
attack.
It was self-defense. Dragon self-defense.
He fired that laser pointer, man.
Psst. Ow.
Hey, that owl would have destroyed a car, so...
That's true.
Yeah.
It would have blown up a normal car. But not a semi-demon monster. I don't know what to call Nightbane. Are they pseudo-demons? Transformers?
They're they're just kind of magical beings that do
Supernatural creatures of magic. There we go.
creatures of magic that on psychic senses register as supernatural creatures. So
Yes.
Dog Boy would have been looked at if his senses hadn't been confused by the ley line. He would have smelled them miles away.
Unfortunately, the dog boy picked the worst place to ambush, and he also failed to recognize wait, this guy is part dragon. Maybe I shouldn't.
Maybe I should use something better than a laser pointer.
Anyway,
2 surviving mercenaries.
the hover cycle stops, and the two halves of the dog boy fall to the ground, followed by a wet splat as the blood follows. And then the hover cycle hits the ground, crashing into a tree and remaining undamaged because that shit's MDC.
Sweet. Hover cycle.
Loot.
The two mercenaries the mercenaries on the ground are now ganging up on Lan, however futile that might be. They're both shoot grenades at him.
Point blank.
Well, one's on his motorcycle, the other's
They
point
miss
blank.
anyways.
Unfortunately, both of them miss and hit each other instead. Each of them takes 2d6 damage.
That's the bad thing about crossfire.
There's lasers, so it's it's Cobalt's turn.
I'm not going to interfere with Land's fight because, that's just rude. And I figure he might as well get as much enjoyment as he can out of those poor little mercenaries. So I'm going to go check out that crashed hover cycle.
Right, so you drop toward the crashed hover cycle as Lan comes around to his turn. 2 grenades just shot past you, hit the guys square in the chest, but they're still up and fighting. What do you do?
Well, the one I already hit once, I'm gonna hit again.
All right. Roll your strike. All right, he's surely going to try to parry and fail miserably. The moment he realizes he can't parry, he tries to dodge and nearly falls back as you hit him. Roll your damage. All right, wow. He's got a pretty big cut in his Bushman armor. Dan, you want to do anything?
Of the 2 down there, they're fighting him. One's on a hover cycle, and the other one is on the ground.
One's on the motorcycle and one's on the ground, fighting Lan in what basically equates to melee.
Okay. Well, yeah. One on the ground, I'm a cast befuddle.
Which one on the ground? The one on the motorcycle or the one that's...
The one that's in melee.
Alright. Befuddle is a level 3 spell, right?
I think it's level 2.
Alright, well, that's only one action away from you.
Yeah.
It rhymed.
Let me look it up real quick.
Befuddle. Right. Well, Lan, the good news is he has a lot less to you have to a lot less worry about him when it comes to dodging and him attacking back, because he just lost half his attacks, which leaves him with like 1. Anyway, the mercs attack. The guy who's befuddled strikes, or certainly tries to, with his laser. Misses. Turns his gun around. Shoots under his armpit. And then turns himself around. Does the hokey pokey. The other one shoots normally and also misses. But this time it was with his laser. Cobalt. You get down to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It appears that this hover cycle is still, it's seen a bit of wear and tear, but it's in pretty good condition considering that it just fell from the sky. However,
Nice.
the problem is it is covered in blood now.
Blood washes off.
It's a fair point. Anyway, looks like it's easily usable and could be brought back to peak condition with a bit of repair.
Sweet.
Anyway, it's Lance's turn again.
Alright, so how close is the one on the motorcycle?
The one on the motorcycle is about 50 feet away.
Ah, okay. Then I'm gonna strike the one in melee with me again.
Alright. 6 is he about to go all Arkham Assassin or Arkham Knight on him?
Using a body throw.
Right. This one realizes how useless it is to actually try to parry, so he just takes it.
I'm throwing him at his buddy on the motorcycle.
Alright, you yeet him over there. Roll your damage. The other guy's gonna try to dodge. And fail. Both get knocked off their bikes. See, that'll do 11 damage plus another 11 damage, so looks like the second mercenary has taken a bit of a beating to his armor as well, especially with the throw that just got thrown at him. While the first one is down on his feet, the other one gets back up and onto his motorcycle. Cobalt?
Isn't it Dan's turn?
Oh yeah, it's Dan's turn. A bit out of order anyway.
I'll befuddle the other one.
Befuddle the other one? Alright. Vroom vroom. I believe that is a certain amount of minuses to skills as well. Oh boy.
Negative 20%.
Right, anyway. Merc's turn, back on his motorcycle. The other one's still on the ground. Cobalt.
How far away from me are they on the ground? Because I know
they're about 25 feet.
All right, is one trying to like run or drive off?
Yeah, he's turning his wastelander right now.
All right, I'm gonna shoot him in the back with my rifle, or try to, anyways.
All right.
Could just shoot the engine.
All right.
I don't want to ruin the bike.
That's a good shot. Roll your damage.
Bad damage roll.
Not really. You got his armor down to half.
I rolled 4 ones. That was a bad damage roll.
Fair point. Yeah, I got a point there. Anyway, it's Land's turn again. You still have 4 attacks.
So, he just got up and got back on his motorcycle, or did he actually start to move?
No, he's just back on his motorcycle and turning.
He got plasma bolt in the back.
That's all he can do for basically the rest of the melee. Speaking of the rest of the melee, you can basically use all your turns now.
I'm gonna fly.
I still have 2 actions.
Him.
You still have 4 actions to do shit. Compared to everyone's 2.
I'm gonna leap kick the one on the motorcycle.
Alright, you yeet yourself over there. And leap kick him off. He goes flying to the ground again. We're only at 1d100. Ouch. He lands on a sharp rock and you hear a sickening snap. The downside of NBC damage, it does not protect against falls or sharp rocks.
Sharp rocks.
Anyway, so well, his armor
you-
barely. He's dead from what it appears, what you heard. That or either he's paralyzed. Either way, he's not getting up without being in some serious pain. The other one's still on the ground. That was 2 actions. So Dan, if you want to go right now.
Uh, the there's one down on the ground not moving, and the other one is on his motorcycle trying to get away.
Nope, the one on the motorcycle just got leap kicked into a rock and snapped his neck.
Okay, and the other one is on the ground that's been doing melee then.
Yes, now he's under the motorcycle because he got thrown under it. Hold up. All right, we're back. My dog opened my door.
I'm gonna go down to him and pull his helmet off.
Right. Well, I think at this point, since they're both out of actions, we can basically say that combat has ended. So you pull his helmet off. You see a decently young kid. By young, I mean probably in his early 20s.
I'm gonna start washing the motorcycle off while Dan interrogates this guy.
What are you going to wash it off with?
I'm sure they've got like, water skins or something.
You pick the water skin off the dead dog boy?
Sure.
You monster.
He's not gonna need it.
Fair point, you know.
You know, my face about 5 inches away from his. Hi, how you doing? Nice day, isn't it?
Uh, it's obviously that either he has a concussion or he doesn't know what to say but to the dragon man right in front of him.
Are you hurt? Do you need some help?
A little bit. I mean, the big lizard man and you? He seems quite befuddled.
Are you gonna keep playing with your food, Dan?
You know, I am hungry, and this guy does look appealing. What do
Wrong
you
one.
think, sir? Do you think you are would make a tasty snack?
What? No, 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 no. I ain't food. I taste bad. I'm white meat.
Are you sure? You know, grabs an arm, holds it up, and it's like, you sure you can't spare some of these fingers? You know?
Or
I
you
like
could, start telling us about your friends in Eosia.
I like my fingers.
I mean, here's this one here. I could take this trigger finger. You don't need that, do you?
It's my index finger. I like pointing at people.
Oh,
At this
do
point,
you
you
really?
realize that he's shitting his pants, probably.
Well, are you sure?
I think so.
Well, we kind of need some information, so you might want to answer my friend, or I might start snacking.
Okay. What you need?
Cobalt?
Well, how many of your compatriots are around and about? What kind of patrol schedule do you have? What kind of defenses do you have? And why the hell are you attacking everybody flying on a ley line like a moron?
I just picked up this gig yesterday.
Okay. Do you have any of the information I asked for?
No,
Kill him.
I'm from north here.
He's useless. Go ahead and snack if that's what you want to do.
All right.
I don't have any qualms with, having people earn their own due rewards, attacking travelers for no good reason. He's just a menace to society.
Well, now that he's here, it'd be a waste to leave him here like this. So I put his
So
hand in I put his hand in my mouth and bite down.
No. Roll your damage.
Okay.
You just bite off his whole hand.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Right. Well, he goes into shock, and then a coma, and is bleeding profusely. The effects of MDC, ladies and gentlemen.
Dan, you would have been right at home in Atlantis.
I keep hearing about this place, but I've never actually been there. Although the guy who helped me did mention it and said, whatever you do, don't go there.
Oh, they'd like you.
Kind of feel bad, and this doesn't really taste very good either.
Well, you should have
Maybe I
took the
should.
glove off first.
Yeah, he
No.
did eat him armor and all, so.
Yeah. Kind of spit the metal pieces out. Or ceramic or whatever it is.
Are you going to put him out of his misery, or are you going to let him bleed out?
I guess I could put him out of his misery. Yeah, I'll just bite off his head.
Nummy. Terrifyingly nummy. Not really. He still got. You did. He tastes like human flesh. Roll me a 1d100. Raw human flesh. Right, good. You don't have a taste for it yet. It's a pretty low percentage to get a taste for it.
He gets infected by a Wendigo spirit. Because technically you are human, so that is cannibalism.
Well, while I'm in this form, I can just pretty much eat whatever meat there is and digest it, and then shift back and still have a full stomach.
Right, it's worth noting that was despite how much despite the fact that he just attacked you, he was unarmed, confused, and more or less unarmed. So
Yeah, okay,
yeah.
that was murder.
on the alignment scale, you go down a bit.
All right.
I mean, I get it. Alter ego is like, oh fuck it, I'm hungry. But yeah, alignment scale, you go a bit toward, you head a bit more towards miscreant.
Yeah.
Not sure if that's quite your goal, but
No.
it might be.
It's just it's a momentary lapse. It won't happen again.
Oh, we'll see about that. That's what all the monsters
I mean,
say.
you have 30 years of history. You could have been redeemed that whole time. You could have been miscreant to start with. Well, I know you decided to get some honor in your head. It says so. Character creation, character.
Well, no, he's gone through an alignment shift because when he was a teenager, he was scrupulous.
And now he's aberrant.
Yeah. Well, now technically he's leaning towards miscreant.
Aberrant leaning toward miscreant, everything considered, especially with the fact that you just killed someone.
Well, aberrant. Well, I mean, killing an unarmed foe is, not necessarily not aberrant, but biting his head off and eating it.
The torture part wasn't.
Well, that actually no, that was
for
mercy,
extracting information. So you good for that.
and
Well, I guess
he was
considering that you had another reason of being hungry, it's not completely out of the line that you bit that guy's head off.
well. On top of that, he was suffering and dying, so I did a mercy killing, put him out of his misery, so he wouldn't have to suffer.
And now that I look at the actual rules, I guess I guess it's not as close to miscreant as it could be.
It's not like he was torturing the guy for pleasure.
No, you wanted
That's true.
information, so I was trying to get it out of him, and I
Right.
could have
Anyway,
been nice.
So we got 2 of these Wastelander motorcycles over here.
and the Speedster hover cycle.
Right, which Cobalt's currently claimed, by virtue of possession, and he's sitting on it. So
I look at the vehicles and I'm like, I can't drive any of those.
Neither can I.
man, sucks to be you guys.
Well, if I need to get anywhere, I either walk or fly. So I've never really found the need to learn how to drive a vehicle. I mean,
well, yeah, but the Mountaineer is cramped as hell. Okay, we got a lot of people in that thing.
well,
So,
I can always ride on top of it.
but I'm just saying,
most of the people tend to stay either in the hallway or sleeper.
So we could, if we can stash these,
so far.
If we could stash these motorcycles, we can come back for them and take them back with us.
Well, what do you mean? Like, do you want to hide them here or something?
Well, yeah, because I mean, we still got to go into town and beat up all the bad guys.
Do you want to build like a lean-to or like a lean-to box or something like that?
We can just cover them with brush. I mean,
well, like I said, I know there's trees around, but I can conjure wood boards out of thin air.
I think if we like build an actual structure, that will draw attention.
I could try wilderness survival to set them up to where they can't be found.
And I have whittling and sculpting.
A camouflage skill would come in handy right about now. This is
We could
exactly what it's for.
We could, just stash them off to out of casual sight from the ley line under a tree.
So it's worth noting that all 3 of the cycles are a combustion engine.
They could be converted.
That's true.
I mean, the hover cycle's got an 800-mile range, even with a combustion engine. Not really a whole lot of reason to convert it.
Yeah, that's from Laszlo over to Chi-Town.
And like back.
Could always convert it to Techno Wizard as well. As long as you got
about
PPE.
halfway back. Laszlo to Chi-Town to New Laszlo.
It could be converted to run on a ley line to where it's always got power as long as there's a ley line. It could be converted.
But then the only thing bad about that is, I mean, ley lines aren't everywhere. So
true. You could.
One of the which is why I put so many ley lines in the Magic Zone. So the people can actually get around on their Techno Wizard flyers.
Well, if you want, I don't know.
Well, I'm going to drive the hover cycle, but I was just thinking, if we could take the Wastelanders back with us on our way back, that would be, useful.
I can put an alarm on this spot to where I'll know if someone disturbs it, or once we hide it.
If you want to.
Yeah.
And that hover cycle can move.
Yeah, that burn spot on my chest is completely healed now.
Regeneration.
Okay, so since Lan and Dan can't actually ride the motorcycles, we're just gonna stash them off to the side. I guess Dan might be putting an alarm spell on them, but we're gonna keep going.
Yeah, I could toss an alarm spell. That way, if someone moves them, I'll know. If you want me to, that's up
What's
to
the
you.
range on your alarm spell?
Once I set it, if someone disturbs it, I'll get a silent alarm in my head, and I'll immediately know.
No?
It
Okay.
doesn't matter how far away I am, even if I'm on another plane.
The magic just goes through a rift somewhere, comes out where you are.
Surprise! Your bikes are being stolen. You know,
We're on Wormwood. Oh, damn, those bikes we left in Yosia are getting stolen.
Yeah.
fuck. Now we gotta escape the dimension. Anyway, well, that's combat. It's about 8 o'clock, so more or less 2 hours in. So I'm gonna bio break for a little while, and then I'll do a little character creation with Goblin and Jen before we actually get back to the story.
Cool.
That's fine.
We'll be back after this, and I'm in the recording for right now, so you don't have to actually listen to the character creation. So we'll be back in a little while.
So we could do an in character.
Well, that was a quick 30-minute break / hour break that probably will be edited down to about 5 minutes or less when I make this thing.
Well, I wanted to be sure to give the new people plenty of time to get prepared.
Yep. Well, basically, while you were gone, which while the recorder was gone, so basically nothing happened. We got some ideas of what the new players might want to play.
Ooh, thrilling.
Anyway, back to the game. Where we left off, we were camouflaging motorcycles. What do you do?
I one of the I guess a spot right there next to one of the motorcycles that's been camouflaged. I'll put an alarm ward, so if the area is disturbed, I'll know it.
All right. There we go. That's the song I was looking for. So you keep heading up the Lee line, right?
Good. Cobalt.
Dan, Lan, you there?
Yes.
Do we still have Cobalt?
Cobalt? Green? Elf?
Might have fallen asleep.
Well, apparently we lost him. Darn. Well,
I mean, he's still connected to voice, but
probably stepped away. Anyway, he flew back to the Mountaineer with the hover cycle, and after about 30 minutes to an hour, about an hour later, he showed back up. Congratulations, you'll have a hover cycle back at the Mountaineer. I think. I don't know, he might tell me different when he comes back.
I was actually going to just use it until we got back.
Oh, okay. Never mind. See, there he is.
He's going to use it as a vehicle.
Hell yeah, it's fast. And I can actually drive it.
Yep. Anyway, so
Can it fit 2 people?
really?
Uncomfortably, and you're too big.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think its thrusters might go like, "Oh, what is this?"
Right, well, you make Diosia, and you quickly find out that's a pretty good place, and there was, in fact, a reason why Yaiko was selling mountaineering equipment, because the lake is surrounded by mountains. However, they don't look like Earth mountains. They look a bit different.
Like they're made of metal.
They're covered in alien trees, and any compasses that you have are going wild.
Maybe a piece of landscape from another dimension got sent here.
That or there's significant amounts of magnetic ore in them.
Could be both.
Or the ley lines and magic has warped the surrounding fauna.
Anyway, about after a little while, you open the pub on the lake, and you see across the edge of the lake there are fields of farmland. In the very distance is a small castle on the south part of the lake, barely visible from where you are, and a couple of hills with seems to be a small town.
It's a town. Sorry.
Is there any like in place embattlements or anything, or
What?
is it just like the town?
Doesn't look like there's any emplaced battlements, and if there were, can't see them from here.
Any watchtowers?
Unless you have binoculars
Which
and a
I
perception
do.
roll.
I have eagle eye vision.
I have binoculars.
Right, well, you look through the binoculars and you can't see any. So that's a good thing.
All right, well, Dan, we might want to walk the rest of the way.
Okay.
Because I mean, there's a good chance that any kind of security in place is going to see you and flip their shit and think you're an invading monster.
Yeah.
That they don't already think the Lanator with you already is.
Well, there's the Lanator, but then there's Dan with his horror factor of 18.
It's a fair point.
Yeah. So I have eagle. I have eagle eye vision, so I can spot a rabbit from 3.2 kilometers away. So, yeah.
Somewhat way. Let's see, it's iron. There we go. Do they make any other items? No.
Walking's fine with me.
Right, so you'll walk across the on the edge of the lake. It appears that this town is mostly used for farming. The people here have settled just fine with the soil here, and it grows fairly tall crops. Most of it looks like to be an alien version of corn. Not too alien, you can recognize it.
I figured wheat and corn, yeah.
So wheat, alien corn, and a couple berries. You see a small orchard off in the distance, hanging off the side of a mountain. Must be a fun. It must be a fun time for the farmer to harvest.
Could be that hard.
Well, it depends on if you have any kind of tools, whatever, to help with the harvest. because
see that.
harvesting
No,
on a
see,
hill on a slope, that would not be fun.
it would not be fun, but not impossible. And with certain spells, it would be quite easy.
So, is there any kind of response to the townfolk or village as we come traipsing in?
There we go. All right. So go through the description actual first. The village is just the series of farms and ranches. You can see a couple of them are even raising some more hard to raise animals. You see some, which you would guess to be monsters, real demons and monsters,
Hey, I actually have that one.
if you'd you like. Roll some sort of monster on their farm.
Would Lord DB's work?
Oh,
Right.
I rolled the absolute worst possible you could get on a skill roll. Nice.
Oh shit! They're raising demon lords. Ugh.
Well, I didn't do much better.
For about 2 minutes, you think that these demon lords are going to come fly over and kill you. And then you realize they're not, in fact, demon lords, but you don't know what they are.
Oh, that's good.
I don't recognize these. These don't look familiar to me.
I have no idea what those are. You know what those are, Lan?
I'm just gonna shake my head no.
Right? They look like giant cows with 3 horns instead of 2.
I mean, unless I could use Lord DB to try and identify them, but I doubt it.
Nope. Because if they were DBs, that'd be slavery.
Well,
Anyway,
slavery gets shit done.
I want to get pulled off of YouTube because you said. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, it's a small series of farms and ranches surrounded by forest to the south and mountains to the north. Most of it is alien. On the south side of the lake, the southernmost part of the lake, is a small castle, which is connected by a stone bridge to the center of the village. A hub which includes an outdoor market, trading post, a small lodge, and several simple wooden houses. A couple more wooden houses are scattered around the surrounding area. The closer you get, then you realize that there are in fact no emplacements on the walls of the castle. The lake itself stretches 7 miles north, but from where you came on the lee line to Eosia, you have no idea why these mountains are snow-capped. It's way too south for that, and way too low in elevation.
They might have their own weather system.
Anyway, from what you can tell, it's mostly located away from most civilization, which is not saying much considering that you're in the middle of old Indiana.
In
But
the
at least
middle of the wilderness.
that too. And probably isolated by the mountains to the north, which were on the edge of the lee line. So you head into the town. Where do you go first?
I just want to take a look around and, get a general vibe for the area because the bartender said that, the people were not happy with their current environment with the bandits or mercenaries trying to take over and control everything. So I just kind of want to see what everything looks like.
Yeah, I'd
To
pretty
see if
much
it's
be
like an
saying
oppressed culture or anything.
pretty much in perfect American. Hello? Anyone here?
There's plenty of people walking around the market, and I'm assuming you're going to the uh, the small lodge or the trading post.
Yeah, sure.
So where in there are you actually going?
Let's head to the trading post first. See what they got.
That's a good
All right.
spot. Center of commerce.
Sounds like something which we heard. There we go. Gotta love the old Star Wars game music. So you go into the trading post. It's called Capiosia Trading Post. Capiosa Trading Post. Appears to be there, have been there for a long time. As you can see on the sign, it's quite rusted. Anyway, so you go in. There's a lady standing there. She looks fairly young. She has short blonde hair and is wearing just is wearing conservative clothing. She says, "How may I help you, travelers?"
Well, what kind of inventory and stock do they have in this trading post?
We carry a little bit of everything. I'm not sure how many things that would be interested in adventuring a mercenary group like yours. She
Well,
says that kind of nervously.
we heard from travelers that y'all were having some problems by a raiding party.
Travelers? What kind of trouble? There's no trouble here at all. She says that again, nervously.
All right. Well, then, so that we just make sure that there's no trouble, going forward. Is there any local laws or regulations that we should be aware of while we're here in town that we don't want to, cause any waves?
There's a bit of a high tax on things, but yeah, high tax on things. And most people go to talk to Sir Vilkir first for any law stuff.
Is that your police keeper?
Yes, he's a cyber knight, I think.
Oh, Cyber Knight. Yes, we've traveled with Cyber Knights before. Good people. Good moral standing.
Outside, you hear a bit of a rumble of something with wheels.
I'll go
Something with
see
heavy
what's
wheels.
outside.
You step outside, and down the road is coming a tank.
An actual tank, like an M1 Abrams, or
Along those lines. It's not exactly an M1 Abrams, but it's a tank. Cannon and all.
does it look new or does it look old? Is it rusted like the sign?
It looks fairly new. There's a bit of wear and tear on it. Two blast marks on the side.
I'll wave towards it. Hi.
It goes by you.
Is there any symbol or regalia on it?
Other than what seems to be a number or a call sign on the side, which reads the call sign on the side, which is IH1B, doesn't seem to have anything.
And just drives on by.
The number, there's also a number on the turret of the tank that reads 123. Almost said that. 129.
I guess manufacturer numbers.
It seems to be fairly outfitted with, of course, the main cannon, which looks like a rail cannon that's been mounted on top of the main turret.
Like a boom gun?
No,
Okay, like a Borg railgun.
yeah, like a
Okay.
NG2, like a knockoff of an NG202.
Gotcha.
Ah,
There also seems to be a minigun turret on the front of it, and several missile hardpoints on the side.
this thing looks a little heavily armed.
Well,
For the,
I mean, they are on a ley line, so you never know what's going to be roaming around. They do tend to draw nastiness.
yeah, it would suck if that got stuck to the road, wouldn't it?
The tank turns in over the bridge and into the castle.
Wonder if that's the only one, if there's more of them. Castle have gates? Portcullis
Yes.
or anything?
The castle wall is about 25 feet tall with a 12-foot gate.
What's it made of?
You can't tell, but it looks like stone.
Hmm.
Well, you know,
Actually, I'd like to judge it. Damn. Of course I rolled
It
high.
looks like a solid wall.
yeah, it's exactly what it
Yeah.
says. It's a stone wall.
It's a pretty stone wall.
All right. Well, after the tank rolls by, I'm gonna head back inside and see if the they have anything that could possibly be weapon related in that trading post. You would think that if they were, you know, a normal trading post, they would at least have hunting rifles or ammunition. And I'll ask the lady behind the counter, like, do you have a Eclipse charger facilities anywhere in town?
No Eclipse chargers. The Sora Vilkire and the mercenaries take care of that mostly.
The mercenaries?
Oh, are
Yeah.
they hired by the town?
They're hired by the Lord
Oh, the
Dokian.
Lord hired. Ah,
Now, how long has Lord Dokian been in charge of the town?
About 3 years now.
Oh, so he's a recent arrival.
Yeah. Since then, he's taken to training my brother, Luke's Capiosa, and one of my friends, Ivy Sayan.
well, that must be nice. Have someone trained and able to help defend this place.
Mm-hmm. It's a good opportunity for them. I just don't want them to get mixed up with the mercenary group.
Why's that?
They're not the nicest, you know. Lord Dokian's nice enough, except when it comes to his taxes. But you have
Oh,
to.
how bad is
Yeah.
this tax?
Well, let's just say my parents pay most of it for the town.
Well, how much
So
does it pay?
he's charging
much
the
does
whole
he
town
take?
just to
What?
exist?
He's fortifying the trying to get enough for magic users to come over here and fortify the castle, I think.
All right, and if the town is attacked, does he take everybody into the castle?
No, we haven't had much of attack. The tank that just rolled by usually holds off any demons. We haven't had any of those come in the last 6 months.
All
Mostly
right.
they're lesser demons, if anything. We sometimes get adventures like y'all coming through here, but usually they're just hunting.
How big is this? How big around is this town?
The town itself,
Yeah,
is that in character or out of character?
in character
Okay.
and out of character as well.
The town is mostly just these lodgings. The lodging, my family's trading post, There's a market over there, mostly food. We carry a bit as well, more of the non-perishable stuff.
Okay.
Furs and stuff like that. Hunting equipment.
I was just
They
wondering how
they
big
have
it is.
all the foods over there.
Out of
And out of
ahead.
character. The lake stretches. The town stretches for about a 5 mile diameter from town. A little less on the top of the lake. It stops
so-
at the tree line and farming line stops at the lee line because that's where the
Okay.
mountains start.
So the town is 5 miles in diameter.
10 miles in diameter.
10 miles in diameter. That's a pretty big town.
Most of it's farms.
Okay.
The village, the main village living part, is only about a street that goes around the south side of the lake.
All right.
The
They
dirt
have
roads that go up to the individual farms.
Okay. So the main living area town have like a guard wall or
No, it sits
Or-
out in the open.
y'all should have at least a wall built, say an in character. Y'all should at least have a wall built around the living area to kind of keep out, the undesirables.
What do you mean?
Well, just in case, you know, uh,
It's
might,
kind of weird that there's no protection in place for the civilians.
yeah. Now, if you want, I can put a protection around the living area of the town that would protect it.
The mercenaries provide all the protection we need.
Does she look like she's thrilled about that?
Not really. It's kind of just it looks like it's kind of a thing.
Well, I'm willing to offer my services to protect this living area, just give it a little extra measure of protection.
I think before you start doing that, we should probably go speak with this Lord Dokeen or whatever his name is.
Well, speak with him, but do we want to speak to him or speak to the mercenary group first?
I think we
Because-
should speak with him because if he's hired these mercenaries and the mercenaries are running roughshod on these people, like we were told, then I think we need to get that his measure.
Yeah, but he's the local lord. He may not want to see us, or he may say, he may have a reeve or something like that that will say, "Oh, well, he's busy. You can make an appointment to see him, like, in a couple weeks or so."
For this little town, you really think he's going to be that busy?
He might appear to be that busy.
All right, Negative Nancy. Let's go see if we can get a audience.
Lead the way.
So, where does Lord Dokeen hold court? In the castle?
Yep.
Thank you, ma'am. What's your name, by the way?
Fuck. I forgot to give her a name.
Josiah.
Girl's name generator.
Alice.
Let's
Mary
go
White-
with 20. Chloe's my name.
Chloe.
Oh,
Okay.
Thank you for the information, Chloe.
Chloe Capiosa.
Chloe Capiosa. Okay.
So, Lan, do you detect anything off about this town? You picking up anything on your mojo senses?
That is an excellent question.
Because I mean, we're far enough away from the ley line; it shouldn't be muddling your senses now.
Yep, your senses are clear.
Am I picking up any psionic or magical activity?
At what range?
700 feet when it's in use, and 70 feet
Passive.
for not in use.
70 feet? And 100 and what?
700.
Oh yeah, you pick up a couple sidekicks throughout the castle. Not too many.
Well,
Is there any? Is the gate down? The portcullis down, or can we just walk on in?
The gate is down.
should we
Hello
knock?
there. Is there anybody there?
Let me write down some shit real quick. It's worth noting that Chloe Capiosa was only about 16.
Oh, about my age then.
Probably still a virgin.
I like how that's the first thing that comes in your mind. I also hate
Jesus.
it.
No, it's not usually the first thing that comes to my mind. It's just a thought.
The first thing you said.
You're a weird 60-year-old man.
Well, it's just that I don't like to break in virgins. They have too many questions.
Right.
Seriously?
You hear some footsteps. And up on the wall it says, "State your business."
We've come to see Lord Dokin about the security of this town.
He narrows his eyes at you. Come on in.
Thank you.
Open.
The guy who was talking to you is not human. He looks fairly weird. He looks kind of human, but he's got tentacle beard.
So this would be a DB's in roll for land here.
Roll your DB lore.
Woo, go land.
That thing is a crack.
Ooh, a
It
crack.
cracks.
Something else I can hunt.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a very good hunt.
Probably
Yeah,
not.
they mostly try to fit in with humans. They're
They're
Right.
soft and squishy.
yes, mostly
Might be good.
soft, squishy.
Seemed with a little better.
The only thing that mostly human. It's just a couple of differences, mainly their heads, which in addition to being green and bald, green bald with sharp ears, they also have two giant tentacles coming down from their cheeks, down to their middle of their chest. Large hands, and they're short and squat. This particular one is wearing a Hawaiian t-shirt.
Because that's what's in the picture.
Yeah. So here you go. Here's a picture of one of these dudes in the discussion chat.
Yeah,
Probably tastes like calamari.
probably.
not to bring it up or anything, but I am capable of skinning and all that, and preparing meat and meals. But just FYI.
Just stuff I can kill you and eat you.
Well, next time at camp, you and Dan can go hunt some humanoids and eat them.
When did my game turn to the cannibalist route?
Well, it's not me. I'm not eating them.
I'm not considered cannibal if I eat humans. I'm not human.
Technically, I'm not human anymore. I look human in my facade, but I'm not human.
Still fairly monstrous to eat other intelligent races.
So
Not
It's
if it's food.
fairly monstrous to consider every other race prey, isn't it? Because that's what my race does.
Crunchy and good with ketchup.
Anyway, the gates open after a few seconds. Hear him more or less struggling. To reveal another set of gates.
Walk on in.
Walking on in.
It's a slow going of detailing.
Too bad they don't have dynamic lighting.
They do.
Oh, I'm poor and can't get a
No, you can only do it if you're a pro, I
I
think.
know.
Yeah.
I'm poor and can't get a subscription. I'm sorry.
How much is the subscription?
$10 a month, I think, something like that.
I already have enough subscriptions to stuff. You're not making any money off of YouTube, so once again, we're not sponsored.
We're definitely not sponsored. We're not sponsored by Pizza Hut or Mountain
I
Dew.
made my own stir fry tonight. Thank you very much.
I had Chinese.
Why I did have pizza, it is not because it was a sponsor.
There we
Right.
go. That's a bit better. I didn't actually put any, things on here. It's just the raw map, so
All right, so this inner courtyard, is it like barren or is there stuff in it? Is there other people?
There's the tank to the side. There we go, tank. There we go, much better. It's a good big tank. The tank is to the side. A couple people are walking through, including the crack that's walking down the wall stairs. Anyone have recognized weapons?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was fast.
I thought about it, but no.
Recognize military equipment in general? No.
Nope.
Nope.
All right. Let's see, how long is this thing? It needs to be about 10 feet bigger.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's big enough to ride.
Not quite sure how it fits out of the gate.
Is it a hover tank or is it tracked?
It's a tracked gate, not a tank. The gate's got those walls that were tacked to the side, extra protection. No, I'm kidding.
So is the inner doors open or are they still shut?
Let's see if this thing.
They just ran us over. Tiananmen Square.
Yeah, it works. It can fit through, kind of, just parallel park there to the side.
I could make it fit.
Well, the good thing about tracked vehicles is they can actually rotate without moving.
That's true. Anyway, So the tank is just kind of sitting there, resting. It's off. You see a couple more personnel going through, working through it. Appears the crack jumps back down from the stairs and slides back under the tank. There are two looking lizard people that are working on the tank. Although one of them seems to be taking a smoke break. They look like giant beefy crocodiles. Or horny toad lizards. Or horny toads. Roll DB. Wow, that's a pretty good success right there on the dot. It's a Larmac. Known better by the lazy lizards.
Or large butt.
Yep.
So is the interior gate closed or is it open?
The interior door, these are not gates, these are double doors, two double doors. Well, that one is in fact a gate.
Double door.
Double door.
Let's go knock on the door.
So let's ring up a thing real quick. I can't spell night for shit. Nope. Anyway, so the double doors aren't locked. So you just go ahead and go in.
No, I knock on them. It's impolite to just barge into somebody's home.
All right, fair point. One of the Larmacs slides out from underneath the tank. He says, "You need in?"
Please.
He opens the door for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Don't mention it.
Mm.
Nope. I see nothing.
It's because I haven't revealed anything yet.
It's pitch black.
I have seen the light, and it is good.
The light is good. There's some dynamic lighting for y'all. Good old fashioned dynamic.
Dynamic entry.
You know what the worst part is?
What?
The guys that made this map from are partnered with Roll20.
Ah.
Anyway. So, another set of doors. Except this time, these look important.
Man, this guy's likes doors.
He likes fortification.
Except there's more doors.
More doors.
Well, if he liked fortifications, there would be less doors because doors are a natural weak point.
Oh. You could fortify doors.
That's true. But then it's still an easier place to go in. Anyway.
Unless you over fortify it and then the wall next to it's easier.
Yeah. I had a previous character who did that.
And then you have to deal with, then you have to deal with that.
Are these doors unlocked?
Yes.
Step on through to the other side.
Right, so you step into what appears to be the throne room.
And Land does the Kool-Aid man.
/ dining hall.
Oh, yeah. All right, we've got somebody with a sword and two obvious spellcaster. Nope, that guy's a rogue.
Well, that might be a scroll he's holding in his left hand.
Actually, almost looks like a severed arm.
Yeah.
Or a scepter.
Those two in the distance of this massive room with very few tables. 125 feet away is a man on his throne looking over two teenage kids. One is a girl, one is a boy.
Progeny, probably.
One of them is on fire.
Do they seem comfortable with this fact?
Yes,
Weird.
they do.
Hello,
I'll step up
Burster.
to them.
I would like to announce our presence. Greetings, Lord Doken.
The man who you discover, who appears to be wearing a modified version of Crusader armor,
I think the
stands
first one-
up.
Yeah.
Who are you?
with the whole outfit.
I am Cobalt, and these are my traveling companions. We are just passing through your fair town and would like to discuss a couple of points with you, if we could.
Fair enough. All right. He snaps, and the burster extinguishes herself, and the other kid follows her out the main hall.
That was cool.
They Darth Vader slid.
There you go.
Wow.
You're welcome. Can't believe that blew your mind of all things. All the things that I did between this map and the description. That blew your... Oh, whatever.
Well, I'm not that familiar with Roll20 and how to use it, so.
And now you do. You just hold on to your thing, left click. It basically gets you in a straight line.
Neat.
Of course, there's always the option of dragging your character wherever you... Anyway, Lord Dokian, which you assume is Lord Dokian, sits back on his throne. He seems to be wearing Crusader armor, except his helmet appears to be heavily fortified and a little bit... What is the word I'm looking for? Expanded to a more round look.
Interesting.
There's a small spiky crown. By no means could you call it a royal crown, but it's a spiky halo of metal.
So he's modified his helmet to be worn with his little crown.
Yes. It appears that the helmet is also actually about as heavily armored as the main body itself, if not more.
He's got a strong neck.
Mm-hmm.
Or that's been layered very carefully.
And his lap is, next to his throne, is a rifle. A couple gems are inlaid into it.
Ah.
TW rifle.
Yep.
So we were traveling through the nearby area, and we'd heard that there was some sort of new group of mercenaries or bandits that had come through. But when we arrived, we learned that they're under your employ. Is that true?
I assume you speak of the Fire Mamba group. Yes, they
I
are.
guess that could be their name. Nobody bothered to give us it.
Yes, the Fire Mambas are under my direction. They keep law and order in the city, and even go so far as to gather some of the resources.
I see. May I ask what their orders are as far as it's concerning travelers along the ley lines or in the general area?
Are they trying to keep people from coming in?
No, I have not ordered them to do it
Okay, so
unless
then
they
you're unaware that they're attacking travelers.
unless they're undesirables, of course, such as demons.
So they're just blindly attacking anything, regardless of what it could be.
Are they?
Well, we did come across a group coming from this direction that, before they even stopped to talk with us, shot at us.
And
No
you assume
provocation.
you assume those are soldiers from my army.
Well, we could ask your mercenaries if they would.
I'm not assuming anything. That's why I came to ask, directly from you, Lord Dokin, if the people under your employ were what their orders were, because we did have a little bit of a hassle nearby, and I just wanted to make sure that everything was copacetic.
Their orders by me are to keep the peace, protect town, protect this village, protect my castle, and collect taxes.
Okay, I think this sounds reasonable, assuming that it's all reasonable. The other question that we had is, my companion here has offered, to he has offered to, willingly help assist with fortifying the the town around where the civilians live, and we were, didn't want to step on your toes by going ahead and doing that without getting your permission first.
I can understand why you come to me then. What do you plan to do?
I
Look,
was just thinking maybe uh, offer some, get a little town wall built where at least they have some fortifications, keep out some undesirables, and a magical protection circle to keep out supernatural monsters.
A protection circle that spans the entire town?
Yes, I could do that. It would take time.
Interesting. I suppose it's a worthy cause.
well, we're mostly concerned, with the townsfolk, since it seems like all the fortifications were here in the castle. And when we spoke to, what limited conversation we had with the townsfolk, they didn't indicate that if there ever was an attack by anything, supernatural monsters or, invading DBs or whatever, that they didn't get brought into the castle. So we thought it, seemed rather unusual that the civilians would be having to trust wholly and entirely on these mercenaries. I mean, mercenaries are not normally the most loyal of people.
I pay them well enough to stay loyal. They don't bother any of the folk, and I assume that none of the folk bother them. They keep out the riffraff and keep the peace.
Well, your civilians appear to be living in fear.
Such is the downside of having a capable.
Wait. They are living in fear because of these mercenaries that you've hired, and you say that that's just a downside? They would be more productive if they were not living in fear.
They don't have to live in fear.
And just what do you mean by that?
It's natural for a populace to fear someone that has greater power than them.
only if the person with greater power, feeds that fear and, makes it a thing.
It's more along the lines of people fear what they don't understand. And if they don't understand that, their best interest is at heart, they have reason to fear.
Oh, that's an easy thing to fix with just, a notice. Or a town hall.
Some rulers don't deign to do that.
Well, I'll put part of the taxes aside for an ideal like that. You've opened my eyes. If you wish to draw that circle of town, by all means, be my guest.
Oh,
I'm going to translate all of this for Lan, of course.
I'm just gonna basically stand there, watching.
So, we did see that rather impressive vehicle with the cannon out there. Not sure what it is. Is that the bulk of your defenses of the town? That one vehicle?
That's our main combat vehicle, yes. Although all my soldiers are combat ready.
And the soldiers have been given orders to, not interfere with the townspeople other than by collecting taxes. And may I ask what sort of taxes you would collect? Is it mostly like food?
Monetary and some food, yes. Unfortunately, as for the monetary part, most of the taxes seem to fall upon one family. The fact that they own the trading post doesn't help the rest of the town.
Well, I would think having a trading post would help the rest of the town.
Seeing that they're the only ones who make the majority of the revenue that comes in.
So you would prefer the town did not have a trading post?
No, by all means, I wish this was more of a trading town. Most of the credits here stay local, and some of it is come down to bartering.
May I ask how you fund all of these mercenaries with only the taxes from a single trading post?
probably takes it out in trade.
The mercenaries are a retired group. They don't no longer actively take missions across the land. They settle for more light pay and an easy life. I provide that as long as they provide their services as soldiers.
So they've settled down roots then, have families?
Some do.
Interesting. Thank you for seeing us, Lord Dokian. So, Dan, how long do you think it's going to take you to do that circle?
It will take as long as it takes.
I'm asking for an estimate.
Out of character, I'm only planning on doing it around the living area, not the whole town. So the small, 600 feet in diameter area.
$600 feet in diameter, that would be 1,200. That would, not even cover most normal houses. So you just, trying to do it around, the city center or town center or something?
The town center where everybody's living. The living area, the trading post, the grain storage, food storage, that area.
Okay, I think that's going to be bigger than 600 feet.
Well, when I asked how big the area was, he said it was around 6 feet. So that's why I was a little
I
curious
did?
on that. Yeah.
I said it was around. It was just one. It was just 2 streets.
Yeah, 2 streets. The area of the 2 streets.
The market is down 1 street, and then they have the. Anyway, it'd probably be an easiest place to put it down in one place that everyone can go to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, while he's, dealing with that magic circle, I'm going to go talk to Cleo again.
All right, so you go back to the Capiosa, trading post.
Trading post. Yeah.
There's an additional woman there. She's a cyberknight. You saw, and her horse is outside.
Does she have her psi sword out? That's how I know she's a cyber knight? Or
No, she wears knight armor. Crusader.
Okay. And does everything seem copacetic on the inside?
Yeah, they're just talking. So the rest of you back at the trading post as well?
Yeah.
She sets down and what appears to be an antique rifle. Here, some adventurer could probably use that. That'll bring enough revenue in for the next 3 months.
How much revenue is needed for 3 months? I'm going to ask that as I walk up towards the pair of them.
A bit more than one of these rifles. She picks up the rifle. It seems to be a fairly old, very old energy rifle, although you can't identify exactly what kind it.
So we're talking like 10,000 credits or so?
Conservatively.
And that's how much she has to pay per month.
And for 3 months, around there. So, sorry, my name's Cobalt. I'm sorry, I didn't get your name. I know this is Cleo here, but how do you figure into all this?
I'm
Sorry?
Lady Claire.
Oh, thank you, Lady Claire. It's nice to meet you. I thought Lord Dokian was in charge of this town and was a cyber knight as well.
He is, and he is not.
Not what?
He's not a cyber knight. He wears
Oh.
Crusader armor. It's been modified. I believe he has a bit of a fear of losing his head. She
Well,
smiles.
that would make sense, but I mean, if he's okay, so he's not a cyber knight, but he's telling everybody he is.
No, the only cyber knight here is Sir Vilkar. Vilkar and myself, although I'm passing through on my way.
All right, so
I
is
just came to
this-
see my family.
Oh, so are you related to Cleo here?
Yes, she's my younger sister.
Oh, so your little brother is up there getting trained by Lord Dokian or by the actual cyber knight?
From last I heard, yes, Lux was being trained with Lord Dokian, for better or for worse.
Well, obviously, I mean, the guy's not doing too much bad if you and this Lord Viker or sorry, I'm probably brutalizing his name. If the two of you aren't, challenging Lord Dokian, then I'm just trying to figure out why we heard stories that things were bad here.
Yeah, we heard that this town was under oppression.
And ruled by a mercenary group.
From what I've seen, it's out of my hands. What you heard is somewhat true. As you can see, she holds up the rifle. The taxes are a bit high. Not deathly high, but more than most of the village can pay on a monthly basis.
I don't
So,
think he knows how taxes work. I mean,
I don't think
taxes
he
is
does
normally a percentage. And, so a percentage of whatever they make, but to have a flat fee like that is not really a tax.
It's more like,
It's more like
well, I offer you my protection. You're going to pay this amount to me,
it's more
no
like
matter what.
extortion to me. I mean,
I can see one reason why they would need it. The group may need their equipment, an occasional equipment charge, although they seem to run off most trouble before it comes. So it seems to be that most of it has been accoladed currently into the rebuilding of the castle, or at least the fortifications of it.
So he's pretty much taxing them to rebuild his castle.
Yes.
but he's new here. So the real question is do the people want him here?
He provides security at a cost, and honestly, there's not really much we can do to stop him.
Sure there is. They've
Yeah,
got one
depose-
beat up tank and some, regular people.
depose him. Monarchs
That's
can be toppled.
If you can come up with there's that you find that unless pushed too far, most of the town is fairly non-confrontational.
so then the town is essentially choosing this, in which case it's their choice. In which case we have really no reason to be here. And here I thought we were going to be able to hunt some griot hunters.
The Griot hunters are part of the mercenary group.
Well, I know, but we heard that they were all bad and oppressing everybody and
Now,
being
sure.
general pains in the ass.
Now, sure, they are fair. They are not fair folk by a long shot, but they do their part, however reluctantly.
Well,
You can tell that most of the stuff that you can tell that the most she what was I gonna say? Shit. Edit that part out. Quick, Pedro, edit that part out. Kidding, I don't have an editor. It just goes raw. Raw stuff. Anyway, even if I did want to do something, I wouldn't have. If I were to stop these taxes, defeat the entirety of the group, there would be no protection for the town except for what they could salvage, which equivalates to only 30 people being able to protect themselves. So in the hands, it's better to have those 30 people be professionally trained and paid.
Well, that's what I was meaning. I mean, if it sounds like there's absolutely no need for an adventurer to come in here and do anything if the people are willing to be governed like this. I mean, even your sister here, Cleo, has been very nervous but reluctant to say anything that would inspire us to behave otherwise.
She nods.
Because, I mean, if we come in here and we wipe out Lord Dokian and his mercenaries, which we probably could do because, you know, we are who we are, it wouldn't benefit the town in any way, and it wouldn't benefit us in any ways, because I certainly as hell don't want to set down roots here. So, Dan,
Yes.
why don't you go ahead and do your circle, and then I guess we'll head back.
All right.
Right, anyway. After that short after that short talk with the Cyber Knight, Lady Claire, she goes riding off east. And now there are two very old rifles at the trading post. The circle takes about 6 hours to make with all the equipment, which is what kind of circle are you using? Are you doing?
Protection circle simple.
All right. And what does that require?
Well, that requires me to draw or create a circle around that area and then activate it. That's it.
With just chalk?
I could use chalk. I could use charcoal, light charcoal.
You might want to
I
use
could-
something more permanent.
I could take a rope and bury it. I could take like wooden boards that have seamed and bent to a curve. I mean, the
Well,
possibilities.
I was just thinking, you know, you wouldn't want it to be washed away with the next rain.
Yeah. If, like I said, if there was a fenced-in area around, then yeah, that would make it very easy.
Oh, to those
Right.
listening, including Panzer, who decided to pop in, they're going to this little village who is being heavily taxed by their roof. Everyone outside thinks it's oppression, although people inside seem to have mixed opinions.
All I know is that there's two Cyberknights nearby, and neither of them are taking action, so therefore, it can't be that bad.
Nope.
The Cyberknights didn't try and recruit us for help. I mean, we're obviously not normal. There's a freaking Lanitor hunter right there. So,
I mean, like I said, I could take some, something and bury it, and then set up in like wooden poles at intermittent points to mark the barrier area, and just say, "Don't dig here."
Alright, so it takes about till evening, 8 o'clock at night for you to finish.
And then
By that time, the tank is back out again, patrolling. I forgot what that spell actually does. We'll probably look it up real quick.
it's 9th level.
9th level?
Yeah.
How you get that?
I
Because
got
he's a Nightbane.
well, I also got a book that has 2d4 spells of any level.
Short of legendary spells.
Yes, I could
Good.
have picked all level 15s if I wanted to, but what would be the point? Most of those are beyond casting unless you do a ritual, and even then, it would have been a struggle. I picked,
Oh, it only lasts for 24 hours.
yeah, anybody, but what they can do is that anytime they want to activate it, all they have to do is just, think to themselves, I want this to work, I want this to work, and they will passively spend their PPE to activate.
Huh.
That's not bad.
You don't have to be a mage to activate it, you just have to put PPE into it, and an average person can, think, I want this to work, I want this to work, and activate it.
So it's kind of
Yeah.
like a Techno Wizard item, except, big circle.
Yeah.
In this
And it will
case, kind of an oval.
yeah. And it will keep out all lesser supernatural creatures.
Yeah, but it won't stop him from shooting in.
No, it won't stop them from shooting in, but it will offer bonuses to save versus magic, psionics, possession, stuff like that.
No, it's
But
definitely better than nothing. That's for sure.
well, I almost picked Protection Circle Superior, but that one cost 300 PPE initially to create versus the 45 for the simple.
Is this protection circle simple?
Yeah,
This one is it. Which book did you find this in again?
218
Book of
Rue.
it's also
It's
in the
on
Book of Magic.
Yeah, it's on page 218 of the Ultimate Edition.
Oh, that one. Okay. I was going to the Palladium books like,
No, this is just a spell.
alright,
It's not like Diabolist magic or anything like that.
okay. Oops. Right, well, 6 is say. It's like, where'd you get that one from? I was like, looking over the side, it's like, Mere 4 points is all I need to do to reactivate. Alright. Try to reactivate it.
Yeah, and then like I would explain to the Chloe, I would explain to her what I've done, and all she has to do is, her and a couple people just have to want it to activate, and they'll activate it just by wanting it to happen.
Hmm.
They want to, they really want it to happen, and it'll activate. Because um, normal people can just passively activate Techno Wizard items if they really wanted to. They just have to really want it to happen, or activate protection spells or stuff like that.
Well, good.
I mean, I had a previous character who put a protection circle superior inside the living area of a mountaineer. The acid etched it into the inside of it, and anytime they had problems with supernatural creatures, the party would combine their PPE, and pretty much everybody donate a little bit and activate it.
It's one way to go about it.
Yeah. Okay.
It appears, by the way, that most of the town, there are light bulbs in the town, but most off. Trading post and the market are the only places that have electricity.
They probably got generators.
Although you don't hear any. But as you go ahead and leave, the road heading back north to the line, assuming that you're taking that way. Are you?
Don't really have a need to. I mean, we can just go directly back. The ley line isn't going to boost anybody in any way, shape, or form at this point.
That's a fair point. Well, at least you have a reference, because now you can see that ley line clearly.
Yeah,
The
we
map.
can just parallel it back down.
Right. So you start heading back out, past the grasslands, through the orchard, which is on the side of a mountain. Small, by mountain I mean big hill.
That is somehow snow-capped.
Well, it's not snow-capped. The ones to the north are snow-capped. Although there are alien fruits hanging from the trees. And some apples mixed in as well.
Oh, I'm definitely not going after the alien fruit.
Out in the dark, you can see a couple people working.
Do they have lights?
They have lanterns.
Can I tell if the alien fruit's edible?
Yes, they are. Consider that they're growing them.
That does not always mean they're edible.
Fair point. Considering that this poor of a village is growing them, most people here would probably grow edible things. Anyway, you see a couple giant apes harvesting some of the fruits.
Are they Grimbors? Are they horn dates?
Apes. They look like gorillas.
Gorilla Man.
Gorillas. In fact, that's what you identified them as. Nimbai Gorillamen. Nimbir Gorillamen.
Gorilla Man.
There's about 12 of them.
Well, if they're working for the town, and the town was really as oppressive as all that, I don't think the Gorilla Men would stand for it.
Probably not.
So,
As you're passing through, someone, you hear, "Psst, hey, hey, roll perception."
Hey.
Land, the stars are pretty tonight. Stars are pretty tonight. You other two see the man, or at least the outline of him. Cobalt, you see him pretty fine.
well, I'll
He's,
activate my night vision since I'm flying a hover cycle at night.
Says he's mushing towards you. Y'all are mercenaries, right?
I'd like to think so.
Are y'all with the Black Mamas?
No.
Good. I think you can help them.
Help with.
Right. So, I think I know what's been happening. I overheard a group of the guards that the leader of the Black Mamba is some sort of snake creature. And he's working with Lord Dokian to
Okay.
buy the services of a shifter.
Nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
What I'm going to tell, they're going to summon some sort of monster.
Again, nothing wrong with
I'm
that.
still waiting for why this is a concern.
That's the concern.
The creature or monster they might summon.
Yeah, but what if they lose control of it?
They have a tank.
What if a tank's not enough?
There's 30 guys with guns and armor.
It's from what I've been told, it's not that hard to keep control of it. It's only if you summon something, big and nasty that you lose control of it. They may
I mean,
want
the town's not even on a nexus, so they can't really summon anything that big.
Well, they could, but it'd just be harder.
I mean, you got to tell us more. Like, give us more information as to why this is a concern still.
All right, I'm gonna be honest. Y'all seem like you're. That was just kind of make thing to make sure y'all not in with him, you know?
I'm pretty much a straight shooter. I pretty much say it like it is. What would be the point of lying?
All right. I'm James Capiosa. You can come to my house and we can talk freely. I have a couple of the townspeople there.
Relation to Chloe?
Yeah, I'm her father.
Is this the
Ah,
part where you say that you're starting a rebellion and you want some extra muscle in order to try and free the town from Lord Dokian's oppressive rule?
Well, I guess we don't have to go to my house anymore.
From what I understand, most of your people don't mind this rule. You mind it because it's hitting you right in the pocketbook.
How many people did you talk to?
well,
I talked to a
only
cyber knight, your
Claire?
daughter.
Or
talked to Claire and Chloe. Chloe
she
seems,
was here today?
yeah.
She hasn't been here for the last 2 years. Things have gotten a lot worse.
Well, maybe she's
Considering
Fair.
that she came to drop off some rifles to sell at your shop to help cover this tax that Lord Dokian is doing, I think she's been here more often than you think, James.
She's had that text for a long time.
she might, as as bad as this might seem, she might being paid to stay away.
A cyber knight being paid to stay away? Really?
Everyone has their price.
She was in training for the last 2 years. She's inexperienced. She doesn't know what she's looking at. Look, what I said about earlier about them summoning things, for all I know, isn't entirely a lie. I don't think what they're actually doing. If
What do you
anything,
think
I
they're
think
actually-
they're probably.
See, now, if you were really wanting to sell us on this summoning thing, you would have said that they were going to sacrifice innocent townsfolk to provide the spirit, the PP, the psychic energy, in order to summon this thing. That would have got our attention, like, real quick. So, would you like to start again?
James scratches his head.
Oh, man.
What
You're
do you
right.
think is
I want
really
these taxes to stop. I do want them to
Okay.
stop. We need the money to go back to the people. The time before was easier to live by.
How did you defend yourself before Lord Dokian and his cronies showed up?
We did have guns. They took our weapons away, told us they're going to put it in useful hands.
So they took them away and gave them to the mercenaries.
Yes. Then they started taxing us. The mercenaries already had a good amount of money, so they came prepared with that tank of theirs and a couple other vehicles.
Okay. Now, you did approach us as mercenaries. So I assume that you have some way to pay us?
The king hasn't entirely lived on our money. He's been trading independently as a middle factor. I think.
The king? You mean Lord Dokian?
Yes, Lord Oaken.
So he's been trading with other people.
This tax he has is a flat fee. Has been raised, and it's sinking most of the town into the dirt. Point is, we need this tax to stop, and we need some way to do this.
Did Violet just die for everybody or just me?
Hello?
Are you there?
Hello, can you hear me now? Verizon.
Okay.
We're not sponsored. Anyway,
All right, so
as you can see-
essentially
as you can
you
see,
want to
this is-
pay us with Lord Dokian's treasury.
as you can see, this is the part of my text document that I didn't write.
Ah, so you're kind of
He's just
improvising.
winging it.
Well, if you want, it's 10. Well, we usually stop around 11 my time. If you want to go and stop early and get this stuff written out, we can come back to it.
It's a fair point. We have been going on for a little while. Anyway, anyway, I can explain things better to you. I don't want to attract any attention. As if on cue, a big bus rolls by. Big boss ATV rolls by. With
Is
bright
it a
lights.
familiar ATV or?
It's a stock big boss.
Okay. So we didn't see it in town or anything?
No.
Somebody's phone's going off the chain.
Y'all are hearing that?
Yeah, it's rather loud.
Anyway.
Oh, I forgot the vibrate's on. Let's turn it off. I got someone who's messaging me. I have a date tomorrow.
Anyway, come to
Congratulations.
my house. We can talk more, and I can offer you all a night.
Give us a moment to discuss your proposal, at least as much as the proposals you've given us, before we make that decision.
All right then. He steps back.
Do either of you feel like playing hero for these people?
Sure.
That's awful altruistic of a man who just bit off another person's hand and head.
What can I say? I realize now that was wrong, and I need to do better.
What about you, Lan?
If it can bring me a good hunt, then I do not mind. But
Well, we're outnumbered at least 10-1. We know they got a burster. Should be interesting.
I can help deal with the burster.
I could deal with the burster rather fast too.
Well, the thing about bursters is, can you deal with them before they burn down everything else you're trying to protect?
Well, I can. One thing I can do is I can make you immune to their fire for a short time.
I can do that on my own. I'm not really worried about that. That tank, though. Do you think we could talk him into giving us the tank?
Truthfully, probably not.
Well, we
But the
could
tank
wait.
wasn't theirs. The tank was the mercenaries. They don't know, and they probably don't have anybody who can even drive it.
Well,
Do we?
you know,
Yeah,
we
Raven can
could,
drive it.
or we could wait until it's empty and just, carry it off.
Well, I think getting rid of the tank before we start this fight is a good idea.
All right. Well, if you want, it was in the castle, wasn't it, or is it on patrol?
It does both.
Shit, wrong person.
What, wrong person? Huh?
I'm sorry, Panzer. I'm sorry you had to see that.
Okay, totally confused.
Anyway.
Were you looking at midget clown porn? Naughty, naughty boy.
Shit! How did it? No, anyway. Before this gets flagged as NSFW on YouTube, I'm gonna put us out and start planning the reason that we're actually gonna next week. Thanks for joining us in my half-ass trying to get a rebellion started. Bye bye.